Hey, it's me, Everishian. I don't know what to say. Just running out of ideas, I guess. What do you do when you run out of ideas? Do you get introspective and look at yourself in this empty room that I'm in? So I gotta look at myself in this empty room, yep. I guess I could talk about my day and maybe I could start making journal entries or something. You know, like when you're out of everything, there's all these things around you. Everything is around you. It's like you take that for granted and you just start freaking out because, oh, it's not yours. But maybe it can be. Maybe there's a thought within every event from when you wake up to when you fall asleep that you can use. I don't know. I'm just some guy in a garage. There's spiders in here. Hope one doesn't crawl on me. These are some bad spiders too. Yeah, I'm not gonna put video on this though, so I'll just describe them. Very skinny, very creepy. Just chilling. They're like, hey. They'll probably die. Or they'll just keep making babies in here forever. And they'll eat each other. Who knows? Who knows what spiders do? So, yeah, got up this morning. It was like in the afternoon almost, actually. Kind of just slept in. Saturday, Watched some SpongeBob. Like, what kind of 20-year-old watches SpongeBob? Me? I bet there's plenty of people who watch SpongeBob. It just kind of helps me forget about my problems. And it's just so stupid. That's why I love it. I love it because it's just random shit. They're just running around and screaming at each other. They think that's like the best thing ever somehow in my head. Yeah, I don't know what's going on outside. Kind of creeps me out when I'm by myself in this garage. It's kind of why I'm not talking too much. I'm just kind of out here. I guess I'll get used to it, recording in here. Because it's the perfect alone space. No one ever walks in here. It's just someone has to walk in here, right? And it's completely free. Don't need a special room or anything, really. SpongeBob is something I share with my brother, my sister, and myself, and it's something I grew up on when I was growing up in Utah. It's the kind of show that got us through a lot of hard times. Me and my brother, we would have a lot to do, and sometimes that show actually was the only show we really enjoyed when we had like nothing to eat or, my parents were really upset. Maybe something bad happened and we would just sit in the dark watching that show. And I go back to it remembering that, and even now I have those thoughts as a 20-year-old. My parents weren't that much older. They were like in their late 20s, early 30s when we were growing up. So yeah, my parents were pretty young. And we moved around a lot, and we moved back from Utah to California, and then back here. We just went in a big circle. So out of Washington, into Idaho, into Utah, into California, and then back. Do you ever get that weird feeling sometimes? It's like you feel like you're being watched, but then at the same time you don't feel alone, but then maybe you're safe at the same time. It's that weird feeling. I feel like I'm safe. I feel like I'm being watched over or something, you know? That's a weird thing to say. Not a lot of people like to talk about that stuff. Supernatural. People people have all sorts of weird things happen to them. Um I guess I could talk about some of that stuff, and then I'll get into my day and how I think about my day, because I'm actually going to start doing that. Just start really analyzing my life on a daily basis. But yeah, a lot of people don't like talking about spiritual things that go on in their heads, or things that happen around them in the physical world. And yet everyone will attest this stuff is real, but they all seem a little weird. And I think being a freak about it might be the only thing that you default to. It's like, what else can I be? You want me to be normal about this and say it in a normal way? I mean, I can't explain it, and sometimes, it's not something that's just super conveniently easy to break down to people. Yet it's so taboo at the same time. It's like we're in the 50s and parents don't want to talk to their kids about sex. Now we don't want to talk to everyone about supernatural stuff. And I'll admit it. I'm going to say it right now. I am partially psychic. I can feel emotions. I can feel things around me. I feel the world moving, yet it's so still at the same time. I can channel, if I want to walk into a room, should I go in there or should I not go in there? I can feel those subtle things, and I can feel whether someone hates me or someone likes me just for meeting them. I don't have to even talk to them. Sometimes, yeah, I just know things. So it's pretty interesting. I actually have a family that believes in a lot more stuff than I do. I'm more on the fence and just kind of all right, taking things as they are. They believe in a lot of stuff. So, I mean, we used to be Christian, now we're all sorts of beliefs. My mom's watching a Celtic movie on the TV right now, and that's why I'm out here. I'm just kind of getting thoughts about life. It's kind of a boring, weird movie, not to lie. So yeah, I was like, why would I watch this? Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of grew up with strange things happening, and when I mean strange, I mean really freaky shit. Yeah, I'm being light and sugaring it up. I mean, something could happen right now and it won't freak me out that bad. I mean, I'm talking some weird shit could happen to me right now and I'd be like, oh no, but not like so scared that I can't handle it, because I've been through some stuff. I'll save that for a separate video. I talk about some of those things. But yeah, this room's got a mixed emotion about it. It's kind of good. It's kind of bad. I mean, I could describe to you how I feel about a place I'm in a weird way, like what emotions it's giving me, and I don't know if people actually get those. You guys, if anyone's watching this, they can leave a comment. They get those same emotions, and then we can talk about how strange being human really is, because that's really what my videos are being about, or are going to be about, is just opening up some of those private thoughts we have as humans, because we put on masks, we put on faces that aren't really ours, and we just try to look good, and that's not what this channel's about. This channel's about our true, rawest, purest thoughts and emotions. So yeah, I was watching SpongeBob. Okay, I'm back on that. Back on SpongeBob. Okay, see how this works? Goes full circle. But yeah. We were, family was invited to the neighbors to graduation party, because graduation, woo, for a lot of people. And I used to know these people, and I didn't go. My family went over, but I didn't go. And like, I felt like a mean person. I felt like I was being mean, but then I thought about it. I really had to think about it, and I was like, I used to, okay, here's the truth. I used to actually live with these people once because I moved out of my parents' house because I just needed to finish high school myself. Like last year, I finished, and I just needed some space so I could finish, strong and make sure I could get out and graduate properly. So I did that, and then I moved back with my parents, and things have been really rough. And like when I say, again, I'm sugaring this up. When I say rough, it's pretty bad. Okay, so, but I'm getting help for that. I'm getting family counseling. That's a thing. It's not easy sometimes. Get into a hard place in our conversations, and I don't know how to deal with it in that moment. So I need to take a breather. That's how much I struggle with my family. My family actually has a form of PTSD, which is, yeah, if you don't know what that means, post traumatic disorder. It's not too intense. It's not like complete, but it's pretty bad to the point where you could say the wrong thing and they could flip out and not go backwards. Like they will just go through this set of reactions that they know how to do in a certain pattern, and it gets pretty insane and abusive verbally, not physically, but it's pretty much a mind fuck. Everything is like a paradoxical argument. So yeah, trying to deal with that. I mean, I'm just now talking about my life fully instead of being a mysterious guy drawing mysterious videos. And this is me. This is really what I deal with. And, I'm so tired of getting up every day and not doing this thing where I don't talk about it and I just stuff it away and stuff it away. And then I blow up later and I don't even know where to put all that frustration and energy. I'm pretty sure a lot of you people have that in common. So yeah, I didn't go over to the neighbors because I moved out of their place and they didn't ever invite me over. Like they just said generically, "Don't be a stranger," and then they never talk to me again. Really, they don't really message me, call me. They live like right next to me. Okay, so yeah, not naming anyone's names because confidentiality here. I felt bad, but then yeah, I thought about it. They don't invite me over. Why would I go over now? I mean, I just feel uncomfortable. I genuinely wasn't comfortable. I wasn't trying to be mean. I just, honest to God, really didn't want to be in a place where I had to say hi to people that I was basically out of my house, away from my family, dealing with a lot of emotional shit while getting out of high school, and then having a lot of problems while living over there, and then moving back, and then them never talking to me on a normal basis. I was left hanging. I got to know these people on a very personal, like really close, and almost to the point where I loved them as much as my own family, like really. And then I dropped it. I just let go, and things weren't the same. And it's like coming back to that is really jarring for me. Walking back in and going, "Hey," and acting like everything's all good. And this isn't even the people I live with. Imagine if I left the people I live with and then came over. Even that's hard. I wouldn't even know how to talk to my parents. That's exactly what happened. I didn't know how to talk to my parents. I didn't know how to deal with a lot of that. They would invite me over and I would be gone for a long time. I was in high school pretty much an entire year away from my family, and I was actually doing better, which was crazy. I was like, I'm doing better without, but I can't be just without my family because I also was I wasn't good at the same time. It was better, but it wasn't good. So I couldn't just fully just walk away from my family. I wanted to. I was like, I just need to just move away, run away, that crazy angsty bullcrap you get in high school. You're like, I just can't deal with my problems. I got to start facing and getting into this. And there's a way. There's a way to fix this. And I know for a fact that it's just stubbornness and pride and the refusal to see a solution. That's only what it is. And if I can find that solution for them and help my family see that there's a way to fix this, I think I can. I think things can be better. So, yeah, there's a way. Yeah, it's gonna be a long video. It's already been 15 minutes. Yeah, so didn't go over. Turns out, the kid who's being celebrated didn't even have any friends visiting either. He just had family come over and invited us. I mean, I felt kind of bad. I was like, I don't. There's a lot of things going on with him. I'm genuinely concerned about his life, and I want him to have a really good life. And I've known him, and I've known his friends, and his friends didn't come over. And I was like, that's graduating. So he has friends that are younger than him that could be visiting, and they didn't. So that was hard for me to process. I'm not gonna cry during this video, but if I do, don't hold me to that. I might cry. Honestly, I'm pretty frustrated with some of these emotions I have. So, my brother came back over and he said, yeah, it was pretty crowded over there. There's a lot of family over there. So he's like, I'm just going to come back. Even my sister came back and they were like, okay. And, they were just chilling. Because, it was kind of hectic. And I knew that that's not my kind of place I want to be at either. My own brother and sister want to come back from the party. So they were just kind of being antisocial with me at that point. Watching more SpongeBob. I watched a lot today or yesterday if I'm uploading it the next day. Yeah, binge watching stupid cartoons is something me and my brother grew up on doing because that's what helped deal with emotions. And since we've gotten back into that, that's the same habit. At least we're not doing a bunch of drugs and being unhealthy, at least. So we're just laughing and being couch potatoes, but not too much. We still do chores and stuff, so don't worry. I'm like a kid adult. It's crazy. A kidult. Yeah. My brother wanted to go out and just run to the store, and he was gonna buy some stuff because he kind of does that. He doesn't just plan out one. If he wants to buy some groceries for something, he doesn't plan it all out. He just runs to the store and gets one thing that he wanted. My whole family's like that. They're scatterbrained. They'll just run to the store last minute. It's kind of funny. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's in the middle of the night and you're like, why? Can we just go to sleep or chillax? If it's not like bedtime, but we're like, it's late and whatever, but it happens. And, I was just like, hey, you took that as an opportunity to just get out of here and hang out with my brother, like on a Saturday. Who could be shopping on a Saturday? We went to the gas station and saw this dad yelling at this kid. This kid was just, I don't even know what he did, but he was like a 6-year-old kid. And this dad, like I just said, I can feel emotions and I can see things. And I could tell this dad was like abusive, like a really abusive man. Like there's something wrong with him. He was cussing the crap out of this kid for nothing. I could tell the kid was just like, okay. And he's just putting up with it. And his dad's like leaning over, like really in his face, like ominously. And I'm thinking, if he's doing that in public, oh my God, what kind of guy is this doing it to this kid at home? Like, this isn't good. And I just sat there because I was frustrated. My brother looked over and he got out of the car to put the gas in. He's like, dude, you're so right. I said something to my brother and he's like, dude, you're so right. This guy's like a real jackass. I wish I could punch him. And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, whatever. And then I look over and I see a bunch of like dumbass kids, like they look like tweakers right in front of or right, like literally to like the front right area from where we're at the gas station. There's just kids bouncing around in their car and just, I think they were doing a drug trade actually, because two cars parked next to each other. Some kid hands some money to some other kid, hands a bag or something to another. Yeah, I could totally tell some kind of weird ass shit. And I was just like, oh my god. What the fuck is happening in this place on this Saturday, What the fuck? Sorry, that's how I felt. And then me and my brother started talking. We're like, dude, this is a weird town. Like, I'm not gonna say where I live, but it's pretty bad. If you want to describe it, I'll use the word Hicktown. We have basically a combination of like hicks and antisocials. Antisocial hicks. Can you imagine? They game, but they're very uneducated and degenerate at the same time. So they don't go outside, and when they do, it's like they're the spawn that crawled out of a creepy hole and went out. And we're like, oh. And then we went around and was looking at drove by a Burger King, and I saw this cowboy guy, this lady who looked like she did a whole bunch of cocaine. Like, fuck. She was so skinny. And this guy's all like, just kind of has that strut. He's like, "Ugh." Like, you just look around, randomly glancing, and you just see these people within like a minute. So we leave this gas station, and we just kind of go around, and you just see all this shit. And I'm like, yeah, it's a hick town. I don't want to live here anymore. I was just saying, we should just drive out of this place. I mean, me and my brother have talked about moving out and living together, so that's a thing. Like, that's probably going to happen. Because, living with my family is difficult, and it might be better to just start in a different place and then, try to fix a lot of the breakage and hurt that we have and kind of reforge. Because people always say, oh, if I get my heart broken or my feelings hurt, there's no fixing. And I'm like, no, I refuse to accept that. Because I know you can take pieces of anything and forge it into something beautiful. You can take any material and do that. You can make art. You can make a better thing than what first broke. It's just the possibility that exists. It's just, do you want to decide to let that exist? That's up to you. And that takes more work than just letting it break and giving up. Okay? You don't just walk away. You don't just... Yeah. So yeah, I went to Walmart and I waited in the car for a little bit and, I was just chilling. Getting a little sun baked on my belly, but it was only for 15 minutes. Ran in, ran out. Yeah. I saw these two little kids, and their mom was looked super tired. She was like, God, I just want to go home, like that. She had that look, and these two little kids are arguing who gets shotgun. And I was like, oh, that's me and my brother, all right. As kids. Definitely me and my brother as kids. Yeah. I don't know, I just kind of thought about a lot of things, what if me and my brother grew up now? What if we were those kids? That would just be crazy. How different we would be, and just weird thoughts, Ultimately, me and my brother have a pretty good relationship now, and we've been talking a lot and getting on a page that we both understand and kind of letting that be our foundation and then start, getting our thoughts out. And it's sometimes really hard because he can railroad and so do I. So we'll say, sometimes, how two brothers will say the same thing, or they'll say one perspective of a part of an understanding of what they're, it's weird. It's weird to describe. It's almost like oil and water, but not at the same time. If we get each other on the same page, it's okay. It's perfectly aligned. It's like a laser being perfectly aligned just right for a few seconds and then goes, poof. Yeah. But, yeah. He was telling me about how he gets in arguments with people on the internet, and I was like, okay. He started arguing with a vegan. He's telling me about this crazy vegan lady who's basically, she just, I don't know how it started. She's like, oh, the weather, the ocean, just all sorts of, our environment, and then people, and then food, and animals have feelings, and he just kind of like had a whole different perspective about how both foods are good together, and that you shouldn't be just a vegetarian or just a meat eater, carnivore, and that there's a lot of problems with both sides. You should just respect nature and respect each other and not be ignorant. Take what you have and just be grateful. He had more of a humble, but not humble, because he was kind of being arrogant about it. But there was something endearing about his argument that I liked, even though I get in arguments with him all the time. I feel like he's making a lot of progress with getting his points across without being too difficult. And, he didn't need to argue with this lady, but, it was interesting. I told him he should write a book, because it really did sound like a person who would have a book about it, He didn't argue as if he repeated something someone else said. The way this vegan lady argued was like, it was like hearing the same stuff from any other person who generally has an opinion about being vegan. It was so generic and vague and stupid. It was very ignorant, so not arrogant. Arrogant and ignorant. She was arrogant. She was comparing him to eating people at that point. It was so confusing. I was like, what? You can't say cannibalism is to do with this. Like, that's how far this went. It went really weird. All the way to storms. just stop. He didn't go all over the place. He just had his basic, just eat the food that's good for you, a whole diet. Don't eat a lot of sugar. I mean, I'm lightly putting, he has a very intense conversation. It's very intense argument, but it was pretty good at the same time. I liked it. But yeah, I wish he could have his thoughts laid out like that, because he told me that's how he really thinks. And it was very, I almost want to use the word sophisticated and unique and beautiful. And at the same time, we have these problems at home, and he doesn't have that same way of wording things. And I want him to be able to do that and be able to be open like that. And I guess I'm the only person who wants him. And I actually explained to him, I do want you to be able to do that. And then we got on all sorts of other conversations. And I got into the conversation about, we do need to be solving problems with this family. And, it's up to you. And you can't be the roadblock here, because sometimes that's what happens. If someone gets in a fight, it's like when Hellboy hits that car and he's like, I said stop, and then it flips. It's basically what happens when he gets mad in an argument or anything. He will become Hellboy and do that in the situation. And I don't want that. I want things to be okay. I want him to be able to word things better and really get his feelings out without just letting his anger take over the whole thing, because that's what destroys progress. That's what sets you back 1,000 miles after you just made a few steps forward. So that's what I'm trying to do. Like, I make so many strides forwards. I do. I have done so much, and then sometimes I get set back by my own family, because I don't know how to solve my own problems without solving these problems first, because these are my main problems. Family comes first before anything. And I used to kind of run away from that, like, oh, I'm gonna get out of here, and I'm gonna have all these things, and I'm gonna be a famous artist, or I could be a comedian. I do have some humor. I have some pretty good jokes. I make my brother laugh really good. Like, that's the main thing that's helping my life, is making them laugh, actually. Like I said, SpongeBob, it all goes back to that. Just stupid jokes and thoughts. And sometimes they can be clever, sometimes they're not. And it's just like, whatever makes this moment for you right here and right now better, do it. I have to fight for that. I'm not going to just wait by and let the world tear me however it wants to without me just trying to make someone laugh or feel something. that might resonate with the truth that I know that's in my own heart, actually. I don't want to let go, and I don't want to get too emotional. But that's just kind of how my day's been. I was going to say a bunch of other things, But yeah. It's going to be like a 30-minute video. I don't care. I'm going to do more of these. And, yeah, we're just going to talk. I'm just going to talk about my day. And it's just going to help me get these thoughts, these darn freaking thoughts in my freaking mind done holding back, There's so many things I want to say to you guys. I want to tell you guys. I want to tell you guys the truth. And it's not the same as an asshole going, I'll tell you. No, I'm not going to tell you it straight or anything like that. I'm not going to be an asshole. I'm telling the truth for me, from what I know, and not from what I think I know. It's just intuitive. I'm not going to overthink this. But because I care about you guys, and things shouldn't be overthought. Things should be natural. Things should be almost graceful. Things don't feel that way, if you don't make your own moments, and it's almost like you create your own space. You got to create your own environments. Whether it's, a desk. If you could just get yourself a corner and have things that you like in that corner. And it's separate somehow in your mind, and you see things inspire you and make you want to just go for it, and that something's holding you back, don't let it hold you back, because you need that space. So whatever it is, just do it daily, do it every other week at least, just keep fighting for that moment. And even if it is just telling jokes, for me right now, my corner, it's just maybe drawing and telling jokes. And I have a desk right in the living room where I live, so I don't got a huge space where I can just go away. So I have to make what's in front of me my space. Okay? I'm Avarician. And this is Effortless, episode 2. Goodbye.